Okay, friends, so here there is one more management interview of IRCTC. It's a very nice interview based on the information that we can get on what the company is currently doing. So look into the interview. I am very bullish on the stock and hope things go as expected.
Here's a conversation that Aisha had with Rajni Hasija, the CMD of IRCTC, on the reopening as well as how things are coming back to recovery. Listen in to this insight.
Tourism sector is also improving. People are traveling. People are accepting the changes in the society. New normal has set in. So we are finding many changes are happening in the travel fraternity and the travel pattern also. They will not be very far when the things will be returning to normal soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Seems to be the case. And now with, vaccination rollout as well, things should open up. But, just drawing a comparison, when one takes that one odd flight, you see the airports are completely thronging with people and it's almost back to pre-COVID levels. And there are a lot of precautions that airlines as a sector is definitely taking. Are people still apprehensive when traveling on a train, you think? Or more comfortable in that sense with airline travel?
Well, this is very difficult thing to compare with because Apple cannot be compared with the oranges. The kind of a clientele we have targeted for traveling in the trains is very different what we have for the air travel. However, as far as the precautions are concerned, railway is no less. All precautions while traveling on the train have been taken. New normal concept has been accepted by the railways very well. Only the persons who are actually traveling are allowed to travel to use the platform services. Footfall at the station is very much controlled. So the train travel in the country is targeting and is preparing very well to handle the post-COVID situation. Although, since you mentioned that the travel on the air is gradually returning to normal, here also in the reserve segment, things are more or less returning to normal. Of all the 2,500 trains that we had reservation available, out of which around 2,000 trains are already running. So, as is evident from our internet booking pattern, the booking in fact has almost reached the pre-COVID level, rather little more than that, and the number of passenger is almost same. Like if I compare last 3 months figure of pre-COVID and now I compare the current year, the number of persons who have actually utilized the services of the railways more or less same, around 12.06 crores. So we can say that we are gradually reaching where we were earlier.
Okay. Ms. Hasija, an important update that I wanted to get was the fact that Ministry of Railways has now ordered IRCTC to terminate all the existing contracts of mobile caterers. What is the update then on the license fee of caterers? And if you could just walk us through e-catering plans if you have any.
We need to appreciate that the contracts which have been handled by IRCTC through Ministry of Railways were the contracts which were kept in abeyance. These contracts were actually not running because these trains were not operational, and still we are working with the special trains. The earlier train services have not resumed. Scope of work has changed, so these contracts has not much relevance in the current scenario. So all those contracts which have been kept in abeyance have been put on hold. And how the e-catering is going to suffice? Yes, e-catering is coming up. We opened this service on 1st of February. Since the day we have opened, we have given choice to the customer. Many customers have opted, and in spite of the fact only we are working with the 50% of the level that we were working pre-COVID. We have already achieved the 50% of the e-catering level that we were doing pre-COVID period. So the way pattern of the travel has changed. The food habits of the persons have already changed. So people are opting the food of their choices via e-catering, and we are in position to supply. As of now, initially we started with the 50 stations. Then we gradually, or every day, we started adding more and more stations. And today we are working with around 157 stations where the e-catering services are being provided to railway passengers. So you can gradually we are able to make up the service level which we were doing for the pre-COVID period also.
You know, that's the other thing, Ms. Rajni, that I wanted to speak about. Like many companies have done post the COVID 19 pandemic, and they have really revamped themselves and given themselves a digital avatar, if one can call it that. Because, I think the big learning post pandemic has been that digitization is the way to go. And similar is applicable to IRCTC as well. You too, as I understand, have upgraded when it comes to your payment gateways, e-catering, seamless bookings. Help me understand how the digitization journey of IRCTC is going to roll out.
Digitization journey of IRCTC so far have been very seamless. And during the COVID period, yes, we learned more and more and innovated ourselves more. Because as I mentioned, travel pattern has changed. So we have to be in commensuration with the requirement of the public. Offline requirement of the reservation has gone down. Likewise, as anticipated, online growth in the internet ticketing pattern has been seen. Yes, advertisement industry is affected a bit, but it is coming up. Other things like our businesses from the other digitized project are also growing. Our revenue from the co-branded card, our revenue from the advertisements, our revenue from our wallet, and our users in the using the chatbot, etc. solution have really gone up. In the name of a digitization, we have added many new services. We have also provided online refund query. We have re-innovated ourselves through Rail Madad. We have added many new services which we have provided to our customer, so that face-to-face interaction of the customer, which normally used to happen at the railway station counters or through inquiry services, has really reduced. Our booking, which was earlier only 72%, is 83%. And if I talk about the average, it is around 79%. And during when we had recently started the booking after COVID, it was at few occasions it was around 92% of the total inventory offered to the customer for booking. So digitization journey is gradually growing because the customer has also understood that this way is not only shorter, seamless, and health wise it is also beneficial for them. So IRCTC is in process of facilitating our customer further to make this digitization journey successful. Many more payment option has been opened. We have also come up with our own payment gateway, where we are going to introduce our you can say the net banking also we have included. We have also brought the many hotel accommodation services on our portal. We have upgraded our portal. We have recently revamped our tourism portal. We have brought bus services also on our portal. So the thing for which people had to go outside to get the thing, now they can do it very much on the website, on our screens, or through our apps. We have re-innovated our apps, linked all the things. Recently, we have upgraded our internet ticketing website, and apps also have been upgraded, suiting the requirement of the customer. So the digitization journey of the customer is being made seamless with the efforts of hard work of team.
That must also require a lot of capex too, I'm guessing, Ms. Hasija.
Capex, yes. Capex, we had earlier planned during the COVID period that we would be revamping our website completely. Because when we started our N-Gate, it was in 2013 and 14. Our system was already due for revamp. So we deferred it by 6-7 months. Now we are also upcoming, and we have started adding infrastructure. New things are being added to make system more secure and safe for the customer to interact with and to do transaction with. Accordingly, this year we have planned a capex of around 100 crores or so, where we will be revamping our hardware because hardware has lived its codal lives. It is required to be revamped. Well, our results are going to be out soon. So I will not be able to directly give you the interaction, but things have really improved. This much I can say. Revenues up to December, we have done better than the last quarter, and the second quarter was better than the first quarter. After that, services have improved. So revenue projection exactly I will not be able to share with you. But things have improved. All our services of the tourism are
Sure.
gradually getting restored. Like tour packages are now coming up, air packages have started, air booking has started, and all our budget tourism in the name of a Bharat Darshan pilgrim special are started. And a day after tomorrow, we are going to start our luxury train Golden Chariot also. So things are gradually returning to normal. So we can anticipate that we are going to reach the pre-COVID level after some time.
That's interesting that you already have the luxury Golden Chariot as well coming on board. What are the total number of trains and routes that it's going to be kickstarting back at?
See, Golden Chariot and Maharaja Express are the two thing. This Golden Chariot train we had recently acquired from Karnataka State Tourism Development Corporation. And when the COVID happened on 23rd of March, when the lockdown was announced, our first itinerary was to run. Somehow we could not make it because there were lot many cancellations. And these products are actually designed for the inbound clientele. So we say, and because of the visa restriction, not many inbound clienteles are having, were available with us. So we designed and planned a new itinerary for the domestic circuit. And it is, as of now, it is running. Pride of Karnataka along with Goa is running on the 14th of March. Then 21st of March, we are going to run its Pride of South, Jewels of South. That is going to be operational. We have received very good response. We have designed special packages for suiting the requirement of the domestic tourist. Maharaja, this season we are not running. We are hoping that when the tourism revives further in the inbound tourism category, then we'll be operating Maharaja Express in the next season.